In this lesson, we'll take a look at particles attributes. These attributes are very useful when it comes to create complex effects. Let's say you want to create bubbles and you want to kill the bubbles when they reach the water surface, or you want to kill them when they reach specific radius, for example. So really you can create very complex conditions that can't be done using the standard attributes. So let's create a simple emitter by going to end particles, and let's create an emitter, and let's move it up somewhere here, and let's go to the end particle shape 1, and you see the particles are point, so let's change them to spheres because I want to make some changes here. So in the radius I want to set that to 1, and I want to make the particles starts at 0 radius and then come to 1. Okay, so now we have particles starts from 0 to 1. We don't see the result because we need to change the input here to age. So now they start with 0 to 1. Okay, so let's go down and take a look at the attributes. If you come to the per particle array attributes, you'll see here some attributes, okay, like the position, velocity, or mass. So let's say you want to see the position attribute in the viewport. We can do that by going up to the shading and change that to numeric. And here I can type position. You need to type the P with lowercase p. This is important. Position. And you see now I can see the position of per particle in the viewport. And really this is very useful when it comes to create complex effects. And we can visualize another thing. For example, let's say the mass. As you see here, the mass, the M written with capital M, but you need to type it lowercase m in order to work. So let's set mass. And you see I can see the mass of the particles. In our case, the mass is 1 for all particles. So let's go down and let's type an expression. Let's say we want to kill the particles after they reach specific radius, for example 1. So let's right click anywhere here, for example here, creation expression, and here you'll notice we have the creation, runtime after dynamics, and runtime before dynamics. So in the creation mode, Maya will execute your expression at the first frame when the particles are born, and then the execution will be stopped. And in the runtime before dynamics and after dynamics, Maya will execute the expression on every frame. And here you have the before dynamics and after dynamics. Let's say you have a force field on the particles. So if you choose here in the runtime before dynamics, the expression will be executed before the force field affects the particles, and here after the force field affects the particle. In our case, we need to type the particles in the after dynamics or before dynamics, doesn't matter because we don't have any force. Before we do anything here, I want to go back to the attribute editor, and you'll notice here in the radius pp we have some expression here, right? So we need to delete that just in case, so we don't have any problem. So let's click on break connections. So now we have empty field. And another thing we need to do, we need to go back, and this is very important. We need to change the lifespan mode to lifespan pp only. So now we are telling Maya we need to use the attributes here in order to work. So let's go back there, and now let's type a simple expression, and let's type if. Let's make the text bigger by holding Control and middle mouse, using the scroll mouse to make it bigger. Okay, so let's open parentheses here and type n p, capital P, particle shape, s with capital S, shape. So I am copying this name here in the end particle shape 1. So this is important. You need to write the name exactly like there. So let's type dot radius and shift and pp and greater than or equal to 1, and let's close the parentheses here. Okay, and let's go to the next line and let's open a curly parenthesis here and again enter, and let's type now in particle shape 1 dot life span dl. As you see, the L is lowercase, and pp equal to -1. This is how it works. So you kill the particles when you type -1, not 0, and semicolon. And let's go to the fourth line and let's close the parenthesis here and semicolon again. As you see, I didn't type the semicolon here because if you type that there, you'll get an error. And if I hit create, as you see, let's minimize that and let's hit play. As you see the particles, let's go back and change the particle render type to, let's say, to spheres and see. And now as you see, the particles are dead when they reach the 1 radius. Okay. And by the way, another thing, if you don't see the radius pp here, you can simply go to general tab here, and in the general tab and in the particle tab, you'll see here we have bunch of attributes. So if you don't see the radius pp here, just you can click on the radius pp and click OK. And sometimes Maya don't update the attribute editor, so you need just go back somewhere in the tabs and come back, and you'll see the you can see the radius pp here, okay, in case it didn't update it for you. So that's it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.